Dear guests, welcome to the Watcher Poll. It is my great pleasure to welcome today with us Mr. Stefan Schnoll from Austria, Deputy Governor in the state of Salzburg. Stefan, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for the invitation.
It is great pleasure having you here with us ahead of the European elections, which are taking place in all the EU member states this weekend. We're going to get the new leadership of the EU institutions, but we would like to discuss with people who are closer to the people on the ground. And that's why thank you very much for accepting our invitation and being today with us. I'm going to start with one very basic question regarding the previous mandate of the EU institutions. And I'm wondering, what did you see as the key moments of the EU institutions in your state? What would you mark? Is that COVID? Is that current security situation in Europe or something else?
I mean, there were several challenges. When I think back, it's amazing what happened in the last years. Of course, there was COVID, there was the war in Ukraine, and many other challenges. But trying to think ahead, I think we stepped out of this pretty well when I compare Europe or my country, Austria, or my state, Salzburg, to other regions. I think we're looking pretty good. We managed to get probably the best out of these very difficult situations.
Do people in your state, do you have a feeling that they feel connected to the European Union? And do they understand, do they follow everything what has been decided here? Are they aware of the importance of the European Union and the decision-making process taking place in Brussels?
I guess it's probably the same here, like in other regions. It depends where you live. I'm right now in the countryside. Probably elderly people from this specific part of my state, they do not care too much. I mean, they are affected like many others, but they do not follow. It's probably an issue when it comes to how they receive media and consume the different channels. I think this is probably one of the reasons. But when I think of infrastructural issues, Austria is very much, in Salzburg especially, is very much affected of transit issues, for example. I'm in charge of traffic infrastructure. These are one of the big issues. And when it comes to this specific issues, then people are very affected, yeah? And they also make the connections to the European Union, or they expect solutions from the European Union.
Did you benefit from the European Union when it comes to the infrastructure, concretely?
We did, but we will in the future more than it's the case right now, because we managed to include the one of our most important corridors into the 10 net on the European level. So we are hoping to get more financing, more financial support than this was the case in the past. Other regions in Austria benefited more than Salzburg, because we are, compared to other states, a pretty wealthy region. But when we want to manage, or if we want to manage, climate change or all the big issues when it comes to traffic, then we are dependent on the European Union.
That was a pretty big discussion in the past mandate of the European Parliament, and with all the new proposals that were on the table, transport is very high on the agenda. But I would like to ask you, what do you see as the key challenges for the new mandate? What will basically be the key policies that the EU has to strengthen within itself, and how it should position itself in the world, especially in the light of the current challenges, war in Ukraine, very unstable situation in the Middle East, and of course ahead of the elections in the United States?
I think security is one of the big issues, asylum, but also infrastructure. To get back to this point, I think if we're not trying to lose too much compared to other regions like in China or Southeast Asia, then we need to invest in our infrastructure. This is, I'm pretty sure this is will be one of the big issues.
But
Transport is, Andrea, I can still hear myself very, very annoying.
Oh, okay. Sorry, we're gonna technically sort it out. My question goes when you mentioned the investment, how we should attract investment in Europe and how we should secure our supply chain.
Yeah, this is one of the key questions. But I'm pretty sure if we stick together and are willing to invest also in the big infrastructure programs, then we can build up also our own supply chains. It's one of the big challenges will be to become independent from the Chinese market. I see in my own responsibilities, in my own specific fields, that we are dependent on, in every single case, to China. This will be a big issue in the future.
Yes, this is what is also in many analyses seen as the key priority for the European Union for the next mandate in order to secure independence in many areas, from energy to raw materials and so on. But I am wondering, when we talk about the European elections, what do you see now in the public area in Austria as questions mostly debated? What do candidates from different parties which are running in the elections in Austria debate the most?
Asylum, bureaucracy, even if they are not personally affected by it, but they say that they always connect the European Union to bureaucracy. Some say that the European Union is taking care of daily business or daily life business, so to say, and is not able to confront the big challenges.
So
like the geopolitical challenges.
Yeah, so you believe that in the geopolitical sphere, Europe should be stronger and should position itself. I am wondering, when we talk about...
Sorry to interrupt you, this is one of the things that people are talking about, but I'm still trying to make a point describing that the European Union is also able to change your life for the better, also in the small things like the common chargers for the mobile devices.
Yeah,
I mean, this is not the biggest issue, but it changed their lives to the better in a small field, and this is also the story we have to tell.
Sure, absolutely. This is important for everyday life, although it's not a big. So the balance between big and small things, and at the same time those that people see and that are visible in every day's life are basically a very important one. You are coming from OVP, and which is member of the European People's Party, so I cannot miss to ask you, what do you expect, what the result is going to be in these elections, and who is going to lead the European Union in the next mandate?
I hope, of course, that EPP will play a very strong role. I think the European Parliament needs a strong EPP party family. Our situation here in Austria is also very closely linked to domestic politics. Here we're having elections on a federal level in September, in the end of September. So I hope that people are able to differ and differentiate between the different levels, and do not mix together all the different political issues. So this is what I hope, but we will see.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Stefan. I'm going to close this interview by thanking you and wishing you all and your party the very best in the European elections. We look forward to continue meeting members of your delegation here in Brussels. We hope also to host you very soon in Brussels. And we wish you all the very best in the federal elections at the end of September.